You are not a victim. Stop blaming other people for where you are today. Most people want to succeed but don't even show up to do the basics. They always talk about tomorrow, but rather than delaying gratification, they delay pain. I'll eat better tomorrow. I'll make that call to the client that I don't want to make tomorrow. Then they're surprised about the pain that they're enduring today because of what they put off yesterday. The Mondays you missed, the savings you didn't make, how your parents raised you, societal and political issues. Whatever you blame is what you give power to. And at the end of the day, do you want to be right that your life sucks? Do you want to be right or do you want to be rich? That whole section I just read you was actually off a podcast I heard by Alex Hermosi. He talks in depth about how delaying pain usually leads to misery. Meanwhile, most people chase things that make them happy today or in the short term, often sacrificing their long-term goals and ambitions. He goes on, the things you hate and blame own you until you stop letting them. I can't learn sales because that's just not me. Name one example where you blamed somebody else and it made you better. One, you can't find it because fundamentally it is not true. You cannot both desire to get better and maintain blame. You have to pick. This resonated with me because if I go back to my entire history, building prime real estate brokerage, building the production company, a lot of the pain that I put off was because I was scared of how it was gonna turn out. But I never ever regretted making the hard phone call, doing the thing I didn't wanna do, and think about it, even if you look at your personal life, going to the gym is a great example. I've never ever regretted doing a workout. I've been doing cold plunges and I've never regretted doing the cold plunge, but the mental negotiation that happens before I jump in is something that I have to overcome. And what's super interesting is as you're leveling up in business, you're constantly meeting what Alex calls new bosses and you're trying to overcome the bosses, but you don't have the equipment early on to take on those end level bosses. You have to build up that resilience over time. So the answer you're actually looking for is in the work that you're avoiding. Now let's translate this for real estate agents and entrepreneurs. How can you effectively lean into the pain that will take you to your goals and your ambitions? Well, I would say look at what are the important things you need to do on a daily basis. And there's not that many, whether you're in real estate, entrepreneurship, sales, even if you're a creative and you own a production company and you want to work with people, you need to A, learn your craft. So for a real estate agent, that would be the market and be an actual expert in the market, not just somebody that pretends they are on TikTok. B, you have to practice your craft. So same thing if you're a real estate agent, are you role playing? Are you getting around other people and trying to use the tools that you have or the tools that you've picked up? And then building your business. Are you actually effectively working on your standard operating procedures for how you do things? So fun fact, after we're done here, we're heading down to meet my buddy Christian Vem. He just opened the Longevity Lounge, which happens to be a cold plunge, red light therapy, and sauna facility. I can literally see it from here. Our commercial division crushed a contract for him, but we're going to shoot an episode of Estates, Entrepreneurs, and Espressos. We're gonna go check out the lounge, probably do a cold plunge and a sauna, grab a coffee, and talk entrepreneurship. He sold an incredible juice company, Pulp and Press, over the last couple years and is now into a new venture. And we're gonna talk about how do you build and grow through that resilience. Now, when I shoot the Triple E episodes, a lot of times we just show up and figure it out. Now we have a system and we try to follow that system the same way every time. And when we're done shooting an episode, we look at how can we optimize that system so it's easier to prep, the guest knows what to expect, it's easier for Nico to edit on the back end. And we're doing the same thing for the real estate company and the production company as well. Using content for your company, we can help you with that. If you want to tell your story, we can help you with that. We're doing another shoot on Saturday where we're going to meet the client and see what their expectations are and make sure that we're lining up deliverables that are what the client actually wants, but also making sure it fits into our system so that we can fulfill our promises and obligations. Back to the real estate world, standard operating procedures are everything. If you don't have a system for how you intake a buyer or a seller, or a system for how you do a pre-launch, a launch, a negotiation, if you don't have a system, you have a system. Your system is just not having a system. So I would totally encourage you to start a Google Doc today, call it your operations manual, start with the basic systems that you need to do on a regular basis, and start building out a framework for where you want to go. Back to the pain, Make sure you're not avoiding doing the tasks and you don't spend all of your time building. Make sure that every day you're waking up, you're learning, you're prospecting for new business, and you're doing the actions that you're avoiding. Translate that into your personal life. Think about the things that you can do on a daily basis that will take you to a place where you are the version of yourself that you dream to be one day. Because if all you're doing is dreaming and you're not taking action, you may as well change your dreams. You have actions, you have ambitions. If you haven't reached your ambitions, that's okay. You can look to affect change through your actions. But if the actions are not something that you enjoy doing or not something that you want to do, or you can't learn to love the pain, then the only other option you have is to change your ambitions, and I don't want you to do that. So jump in the comments, drop in what are your current ambitions, what are you trying to accomplish, and more than anything, what's the pain that you're experiencing? I would love to help you. I can do another video on how I would deal with that pain, or even point you in the direction of somebody maybe smarter than me who can give you some framework. Also, make sure you click the links below. Join the newsletter. I drop my thoughts every single week and my mindset for where we are going as a company, and I'd love for you to be part of that journey. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you on the next one.